play a team in the Stanley Cup final, it kind of instantly becomes a rivalry. Do you feel like there's almost an extra layer of intensity when you see the Vegas Golden Knights?
I think what happens is when you play a team in the playoffs, just even from a scouting, pre-scouting, the amount of video that you see on one team, they might as well be in your conference. So Vegas and Edmonton, we'd have a pretty good handle. We wouldn't have to be reminded too much of the style of game that they play or the players that they have. So there's a familiarity there. And there is that, right? But if two teams that get to the final in the last 2 years, they're both probably pretty good teams. So there's going to be, coming to the rink, you got to be on your game.
You still hate them?
I don't particularly hate anybody, George.
Really? I mean,
I don't.
you guys
It's a
are
strong word. Yeah, well, there's lots of energy and emotion. I like that part. You can be passionate without hateful, I think.
Real quick about Gadjovich, anything there?
Better today, but won't play tonight. Matthew skated this morning, felt really good, so believe we're on timeline for Minnesota. Barkov, good as well. He's got a later timeline. I think he plays somewhere before Finland, like on the New York trip. Nosek will be ready to go for Finland.
When the LTIR ends, he'll be
Yep.
good to go. So tonight, then, you've got to play a man down.
Correct.
Okay. What kind of challenges does that, aside from?
It's not as big. Yeah, it's not as big a minute challenge as you would think. You can rotate players down. And you almost run that a lot of times if you're chasing the game a little bit. You cut your fourth line back and maybe you put your more offensive players down there to rotate them in. So the minutes part of it isn't the challenge. Familiarity sometimes is earlier in the year. It's a bigger challenge than later in the year because you know your players and where they can play. I don't see it as a major issue for us.
You did that sort of, right, when Gadjovich went down against, I mean, I noticed.
It's the same thing, right? We're eventually, short a guy 2 minutes into the game. So it happens to everybody. Maybe sometimes it's easier to deal with when you know it's going into the game that's the way it looks. So you've already pre-planned for it.
And as far as Gadjovich goes, is it, would he be back Minnesota? Or?
Could be.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not a long-term thing. It's just we got to get something to loosen up. That's all.
Anything else? Thank you, guys.
All right, everybody.
Guys, we'll hold our rights holder